Welcome Pokemon Go trainers, welcome back to my channel. So for this week we have Master League and the Holiday Cup. So I am starting my set with the Master League and team consists of Xerneas, Mewtow and Groundon. Hop into the first match, Groundon versus Rhyperior, good lead for me. So I am farming energy. Rhyperior throws Breaking Swipe and I do get the debuff. So I am going to commit to Precipice Blades. An opponent decides to shield here. So I'm not going to shield the second Breaking Swipe as well and throw Precipice Blades immediately, and I do get a second shield. I swap into Mewtwo and this is also Breaking Swipe, so I'm not going to shield. So opponent tries to catch a move on Metagross, but I throw Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is super effective because it's a part psychic type, and I throw Side Strike on a CMP tie, which is very good. And now here comes the Rayquaza. Another Side Strike will do a maximum damage. So now Xerneas can handle the business here. I am going to farm down the Rayquaza. I am shielding Dragon Ascent, but it's a bait, Breaking Swipe. That's okay, I do have 2 shields. So I am throwing Close Combat on Rhyperior. This will KO and opponent decides to quit here. So good game to my opponent. I mean the first match. Let's see what about the second match. The team is really weak to Ho-Ho. Otherwise this team is pretty balanced. The only issue is I don't have a proper answer for the Ho-Ho. Mewtwo can go up against the Ho-Ho, but it is not that much bulky. But I still try to figure it out how all of 3 with a proper teamwork we can defeat Ho-Ho. So for this time I get a glitch, so I restarted my app to enter the second battle. Let's see what second opponent has for us, and it's a Dragonite. It's a bad lead, so I'm going to swap into a Mewtwo because it's my safe switch, and opponent decide to swap into Zekrom. I have an energy advantage, so I'm going to throw Side Strike. Opponent shields here and opponent decides to throw Crunch on me, so I have to shield here. I am going to farm up to 2 Side Strike, then throw my energy. Let's see if opponent decides to shield, and it doesn't. I throw another one. If this go unshielded, it will KO, but opponent decide to shield here. That is fine for me, and I'm going to farm energy with Groudon. It's Crunch, and I was able to farm down, and I come here with Xerneas. I have a shield advantage, so I can throw 2 Moon Blast and shield one of the Moon Blast thrown by his opponent's Xerneas. So I am shielding this, and it was a Moon Blast, and now I can comfortably throw this Moon Blast to KO, and I have a healthy Xerneas, so I think opponent quits here. Good game to my opponent. Despite being a hard lead, I was able to get a win. So Mewtwo is a good safe switch. Let's hop into the third match, and there's a Nightmare lead. Ho-Ho, let's try to figure it out. So I'm going to farm energy and then throw the Precipice Blades. This will not do super effective damage because it's a part flying, but decent damage I would say. And Ho-Ho is throwing Sacred Fire, and it does a massive damage. It almost KOs my Groudon, so I'm safe switching into Mewtwo and then immediately throw the Side Strike. I get the shield, which is good, but I have to shield my Mewtwo, and he throws a Brave Bird and comes into Dialga. I don't have Focus Blast, but I'm trying to fake it, but I think the opponent doesn't fall for it and he lets it go, and he has reached the Iron Head. So I'm shielding here. because I want to keep my Mewtwo alive for the Ho-Oh, but this Dragon Breath has done a maximum damage to Mewtwo. So now I don't think there is a win con here, because opponent has a one shield and this Xerneas basically is not very useful, and I try to catch but fail. So it's a good game to me. Let's hop into the third match. Let's see what third opponent has for us. And Groundon versus Dialga, decent lead, but you should be very careful while throwing your move. Sometimes opponent tries to catch like this way. Now there is another Ho-Oh here, but I'm trying to figure it out. How can I sweep the game? So I throw Principal Blades and then come into Mewtwo to throw Side Strikes. I get the shield. I shield again. It's a Sacred Fire and I do get the debuff. So I am farming a lot of energy. I have to shield, otherwise this Brave Bird will KO. I have 2 Side Strikes stored. So opponent, I think, lets it go. And then opponent comes into Dialga. Hopefully, yes, it comes into Dialga. I again try to fake it's a Focus Blast, but opponent doesn't fall for it, and then swap into Groudon to get the shield with Fire Punch. And yes, I do get, and best thing is it was a CMP tie on a Draco Meteor. So attack got failed for the opponent, and now I will come with Xerneas, but unfortunately Groudon is not that much good for the Xerneas, so I'm throwing Moonblast immediately, and luckily we got the attack fail. This can flip the match. Let's see. And Principal Blade doesn't do that much damage, otherwise it would have one-shotted me. This is Fire Punch, so don't worry for this. So I have stored a move, Close Combat, and I am swap into Mewtwo to throw a Side Strike. This will KO, and Dragon Breath will KO me. I can throw Close Combat, and opponent realizes I have a Close Combat on my Xerneas, so he quits. So good game to my opponent. Let's watch the last match, final match of this set. I used this team for quite a bit of set and it gave me good result. So last match, hard lead. Again I safe switch into Mewtwo, and Sogaligo is hey, opponent safe switch, and then I throw a Shadow Ball on this Sogaligo. It's part psychic, so that's why it did a super effective damage. And I didn't shield the Iron Head, that's okay. I'm throwing Side Strike. Hopefully I get the shield. Yes, I do. I'm hoping I can reach another Side Strike, and luckily I do. And now I think opponent double shields. I have 2 shield advantage. I was hoping that this shouldn't be Solar Beam, and yes, it is not a Solar Beam, it's a Psychic Fang, and with few HP he reaches Iron Head. It will do damage because I am debuff. I'm swapping hard swap into Xerneas, and there is a Rhyperior at the back. 2 Close Combat will be enough to KO. I do have a 2 shield advantage, so I reach Close Combat and this will KO. I think now Xerneas has no play, so opponent decides to quit. So hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, so please do subscribe and share with your friends so that I can make more some of the contents like this. Thank you trainers, have a good day, bye.